This week in Pokemon Go, we are going to be getting the Flying Taxi event, which is going to be featuring a brand new Pokemon, and we're also getting a Team Go Rocket takeover featuring a new Shadow Legendary. And we're also going to be getting a Super Mega Raid Day featuring Mega Skarmory, and I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video. You do not want to miss out on all this content. Yeah, let's get right into it. Hey, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your week is starting off really good, and let's get right into it. So this is going to be one of those really packed weeks in Pokemon Go. We are getting a whole bunch of very solid events, and we're also going to be getting some new Pokemon for you to collect. I really do think this is going to be a good week. We've been kind of starved for some good Pokemon content over the past couple of weeks. We did have those lead-up events to the in-person Pokemon Go Fest events, but I didn't feel like they actually hit the mark. I feel like it was a long overdue time for us to get a very solid event, and it looks like this week we're going to be getting just that. So let's start off by talking about the Flying Taxi event, and then afterwards let me talk about the Taken Over event, and then we're gonna go over the Super Mega Raid Day featuring Mega Skarmory. The Flying Taxi event is going to be happening on June 23rd at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, and it's going to go for a week ending on June 29th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. And with this event, we're going to see the debut of a new Pokemon with some different variants. We're going to have green Squawkabilly, blue Squawkabilly, yellow Squawkabilly, as well as white Squawkabilly. And you might have guessed it, these are all going to be in different regions in the world. Now, in terms of which Squawkabilly you'll be able to get depending on which part of the world you are at, both yellow and white plumage Squawkabilly are going to be appearing globally, but green Squawkabilly is going to be appearing in the Eastern Hemisphere, and then blue Squawkabilly is only going to appear in the Western Hemisphere. This means these are going to be essentially new regional Pokemon, and just like with previous Pokemon like Basculin and other Pokemon with a similar mechanic, you will not be able to get specific colors unless you trade for them or you visit that side of the world. And with this event, we're going to see the following event bonuses, and these are going to actually be tied to the Go Pass. At Tier 1, which is rank 10 of the Go Pass, you're going to unlock a bonus which will give you double the amount of candy whenever you catch Pokemon. And then at Tier 2 or rank 20, you're going to unlock a bonus where you're going to get more Stardust from defeating Team Go Rocket members. Now, in terms of what Pokemon you're going to be able to get aside from the new Pokemon Squawkabilly, spawning in 1-star raids, you're going to be able to encounter Swablu, Starly, as well as Vullaby, and then in 3-star raids, you're going to be able to get Hisuian Braviary, Corvisquire, as well as Bombardier, and then finally within Wild Encounters, you're going to see Hoot Hoot and Rookidee, and possibly also White Plumage Squawkabilly. This event is essentially a flying Pokemon themed event, but as you can see, there's not much to this event aside from this new Pokemon. It's really about what's going to be happening on the second half of this event, which is going to be a Team Go Rocket takeover. Let's now talk about that. The Flying Taxi Taken Over event is going to be happening on the second half of the Flying Taxi event from June 25th at 12 o'clock a.m. until June 29th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time, and this is going to see the debut of a new Shadow Legendary, which you can see on screen right now is going to be Shadow Reshiram, which is, of course, absolutely insane. Now, during this event, we're going to see the following event bonuses. Team Go Rocket battles are going to be appearing a lot more frequently. You're going to be able to remove frustration from your Shadow Pokemon using Charge TMs, and then Pokemon caught via 1-star and 3-star Shadow Raids during the event are going to have a wider variance of attack, defense, and HP IVs. This means this is going to be a great way for you to pick up some Shadow Pokemon specifically for PvP. Just make sure you remove frustration off of those Pokemon, because that way you could actually use them right away. And then of course, when it comes to other bonuses, they're also tied to the Go Pass Flying Taxi event. Just to reiterate, at Tier 1, rank 10, you're going to be able to get double the amount of candy whenever you catch Pokemon, and when you reach Tier 2 or rank 20, you're going to get more Stardust from defeating Team Go Rocket members. And then finally, considering this is a Team Go Rocket takeover event, you're going to be able to get some new Shadow Pokemon from Team Go Rocket Grunts. These will include Shadow Seal, Shadow Hoot Hoot, Shadow Noibat, as well as Shadow Rookidee. And I think out of these, I will say Shadow Rookidee is going to be a huge standout because there is some potential here for Corviknight to deal a ton of flying type damage with the Shadow bonus. And there is some potential here for PvP as well. And then this is also kind of unique to Team Go Rocket takeover events, but you're going to be able to get mysterious components from field research tasks along with fast TMs and charge TMs. Next up, let's talk about the Super Mega Raid Day featuring Mega Skarmory, which is going to be making its debut with this event. This is going to be happening on June 27th from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time, and it's going to be a raid day featuring a new Mega Evolution. Do keep in mind that this is going to be a Super Mega Raid Day, which means you're going to want to have enough players in order to take down the raid. Now, during this event, we're going to have the following event bonuses. The featured Pokemon, which is going to be Skarmory, is going to be appearing in Super Mega Raids, and you're going to be able to get Mega Energy for this Pokemon for the very first time. And then also, you're going to be able to get up to 6 free raid passes from spinning gym photo discs, and you're going to have an increased chance at getting shiny Skarmory from these raids. You're also going to see a limit increase to remote raids up to 20, and that bonus is going to be active starting on Friday, June 26th at 5 o'clock p.m. until Saturday, June 27th at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There's also going to be an event ticket, which is typical for these sort of events, and you're going to get up to 14 raid passes from spinning gym photo discs. You're also going to get an increased chance to get Rare Candy XL from raid battles, and every raid that you complete is going to award you with 5,000 more experience, as well as 5,000 more Stardust. So yeah, case in point, this is going to be a pretty solid Super Mega Raid Day, and even though Skarmory may not necessarily be a highly relevant Mega Evolution, it's still going to be great content. So if you're looking for something to do on this Saturday, make sure you go out with your local communities and do a whole bunch of these raids and at least pick up the Pokédex entry for this new Mega Evolution. But now, let's go over the weekly content that will be happening during this week. First and foremost, let's go over the Dynamax content. During this week, you're going to be able to get Dynamax Hoot Hoot from Max Battles. And of course, this is not necessarily that relevant. You don't necessarily have to highly prioritize this, but it will be available. And then when it comes to 5-star raids, it's going to be an interesting week. We're going to be getting Necrozma until June 23rd, but then afterwards, we're going to get Celesteela in the Southern Hemisphere and the very powerful Pokemon Kartana in the Northern Hemisphere. Obviously, between these two, Kartana is going to be the higher priority. So if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, you will want to raid as many of these as possible, but if you live in the Southern Hemisphere, you will probably want to use your remote raid passes in order to get some Kartana raids done. And then, coinciding with these Pokemon in Mega Evolution raids, we're going to have Mega Scizor until June 23rd, but then afterwards, for the rest of the week, we're going to get Mega Pidgeot, which is actually a pretty decent Mega Evolution if you do not have Mega Rayquaza. It is often considered a top-tier flying type in most situations, so make sure you collect some Mega Energy for this particular Mega Evolution, especially if you still do not have it. And then also happening during this week, and this is something that has been ongoing for the entire month, but Shadow Dialga is going to be available in Shadow raids throughout the week. This is a very powerful Shadow Legendary, and you don't want to miss out on it. So if you still do not have yourself a good Shadow Dialga, it might be worth doing a couple of these throughout the week. Alright, and finally this leaves us with what's going to be active within the Go Battle League. So for PvPers during this week, we're going to have the Master League Mega Edition continuing until June 23rd, as well as the Sunshine Cup Great League Edition. The Master League Mega Edition is one of the most popular leagues that we usually have, so definitely do not miss out on these battles. You'll have it for at least a couple more days. And then, starting on June 23rd at around 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you're going to be getting the Open Great League, Open Ultra League, as well as the Open Master League. And these are also really popular leagues, so this will be a great opportunity for you to get some high ranks until the middle of the season. Alright, there you have it. This is everything happening in Pokemon Go during this week, and like I said, this is going to be a packed week full of a whole bunch of content. I mean, it's pretty exciting already with the Flying Taxi event, getting a whole new Pokemon along with the Taken Over event with a new Shadow Legendary, and this Shadow Legendary is actually incredibly relevant. Shadow Reshiram is going to be one of the best Pokemon in the game. You're definitely going to want to get one with high IVs and invest into it with as much candies and all that good stuff. And of course, you want to make sure you remove frustration off of it so that you could give it its best moves and use it for raid battles. It's definitely going to be really good. And then of course, Mega Skarmory making its debut. I don't necessarily feel like this is going to be a super relevant Mega Evolution, unfortunately, but it's still going to be available for the first time, and yeah, I think these Mega Raid days are still pretty good. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much everything happening during this week in Pokemon Go. Again, it's going to be an exciting week, and I'm looking forward to all this content. And yeah, share your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below in the comments. Are you looking forward to something in particular during this week? Make sure you share what that is, and also share your thoughts regarding Mega Skarmory, Shadow Reshiram, as well as the new Pokemon Squawkabilly. I would definitely like to know. Let's have a great discussion. And if you really enjoyed this video, found it to be informative, and you want to support my channel, best way you could do that is hitting the like button for this video. Make sure you do that, and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. And make sure you turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload videos. And also consider checking out the links in the description below. One of them is to my Patreon page, and if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, best way you could do that is by joining my Patreon. So make sure you go and check that out. I add all of my patrons to my in-game friends list, and I will prioritize you for remote raid invites and all that good stuff. So yeah, make sure you go and check that out. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you have yourself a great week. My name is Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you in the next video.